without more support and without, more people supporting the event and, potentially the sponsors getting on board that can help us make this a reality, I don't know what the future holds. And that's just at this point the honest truth.
So it's that time of year again where Brian Shaw gives the update on how this year's Shaw Classic went down. So we obviously have the strongest man on earth, the strongest arm on earth. There was the Shaw Classic Expo. There were so many things that went on. Now, Brian Shaw posted a video on the 5th of September explaining obviously how this year's show went. And to be honest, it kind of put kind of
from what we saw, it wasn't great.
No, it's a downer. It's after putting a downer on the Shaw Classic.
Yeah, and it's a bleak future from what he said, it seems like.
It's a scary future.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not going to happen. Hopefully it's not going to pull the plug on the competition, because it seems like he lost a good bit of money this year. And Mitch Hooper, he made a video about it.
He obviously was talking to Brian Shaw.
I think it's super hard to organize competition like Brian Shaw's competition. It's very hard, and it's easier for likes of organizations like Rogue
who
Fitness.
are big companies.
Yes. Yeah. So and their main thing is to sell the equipment, not to organize the competition.
Yeah, apparel and equipment.
Yeah. So when it comes to Brian Shaw, he just solely focuses on organizing the competition. Expo, trying to get as many sponsors as possible.
Yeah.
Now that said, I think economically the world is not in a great place right now.
No, and that was even Mitch Hooper said that himself as well. That it seems a bit, it's kind of up in limbo at the moment with everything the way things are going. Now, Brian, obviously, when he started the show 5 years ago, the world was in a different place.
Yeah.
However, there was no arenas, there was no expos. There was 12 athletes, including himself. That's who were competing at the show in his garage, or say whatever you want to call it, beside the home. And
his home gym,
the next year then it kind of went to a smaller arena when things kind of opened up again a little bit, and it kind of went and went and went. And the year that we went,
I think it was the biggest year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah,
it seems like
it was Brian's last year.
Yes, and it was the first year, I want to say, in that blue arena. I could be wrong, but I think it was the first year in that blue arena that they were in now, the Budweiser arena. And it just, everything seemed to just flow naturally. And afterwards, it seemed like the prize money was good. It seemed all the athletes were happy the way things went. Everything went smoothly. And then in 2024, then again, we had the prize money, which was 260,000 plus, I think, of prize money. First place was $100,000.
260,000, and that makes it like second best paid show of the year.
Yeah, because first place was $100,000 in Shaw Classic, or Strongest Man on Earth, and then first place Rogue Invitational, $120,000 roughly, something like that.
So Rogue is still number one when it comes to
but Rogue is a huge
it's
company.
a big machine. It's a big company. They don't even need that many sponsors as Brian Shaw competition, Yeah, so I think Brian was saying that a lot of guys pulled out, and even Mitch Hooper mentioned, like, I think Celsius energy company wasn't there.
They were there the year we were there as well.
Trifecta.
There's now, when you're watching the competition, it's something you don't really notice as much. But the thing is, when you're there, if you've been there a number of years, you kind of pick up on these small little things. Things might have changed.
But the question would be, like, why? Is it like because of the economy is a bit slowing down, companies are a bit more like
reluctant
to invest into like advertising, and the money is not that freely available anymore? Is it to do with Torbjornsson not being there, Mitch Hooper not competing as well,
Rain O'Neill, the world's strongest man, not going?
So Rain O'Neill, like, he is world's strongest man, but he's still not the big name in the strongman sport. But I think Torbjornsson and Mitch Hooper are the biggest ones. So one of the biggest ones, and is that the factor? That could be it. There's a lot of small things, and plus the streaming. It was very hard for us Europeans to watch Shaw Classic because of the time
difference. It's a big time difference.
Yeah, it's so hard. Even like if you think about it, I think that's why. Maybe one of the reasons why Rogue moved to
Aberdeen.
Yes.
Yeah, in Scotland,
to Europe. Because
you're talking, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
it's bang center in the middle.
Back center in the middle. Plus, I think strongman is a bit more popular, if you ask me, in Britain than it is in America.
And Britain is perfect as well, because even in Europe, like, you know, in Europe we have basketball, we have soccer, all this is a big thing. And now obviously you see in the Baltic countries, like strongman is a big thing, but in other European countries not really as much. But in Britain itself, and kind of coming into Ireland now as well, strongman is becoming a very big thing.
Yeah, it's growing tremendously, and I think it's like a hub of strongman sort of sport now in Britain is. If you just based on Giants Live.
But that's why we have the problem with like World's Strongest Man. We have it with Shaw Classic that like when they're over on that part of the world, and you're say like if a big section of your viewers are from Britain, like by the time the show ends, it could be 1 o'clock in the morning, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's become, because especially I was reading a bit of comments as well, and one guy made a very good point. He says like even with arm wrestling like and strongman, you have to stay up the whole weekend, you know, for 3 nights in a row. Like some people have, like loads of people have their lives. You have to wake up, you have to go to work, you have kids, you have this. You can't be like, you know, just staying late and watching strongman, and then the next day is pretty much ruined for you, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's very hard, and probably one of the reasons why he wasn't getting that many pay-per-views, you know.
Yeah, because well, it depends on American viewers. If American viewers are high, I can understand, but if the European and British viewers are higher than the American ones, it kind of, that's where the live stream kind of affects you.
Yes.
Because I can imagine for a couple of years when the live stream started, people would have said, oh yeah, let's watch the show. But like if they realised, say, last year that they were watching it and they were like, oh, I was up till 2 a.m. waiting for the results, they're kind of like, they might buy it and watch an hour or two, or maybe they just decided not to buy it, because Brian said himself, like ticket sales for people actually coming to watch the show were down. The actual viewership was down of the live stream, and the sponsorships were down.
Yeah, because I think economy plays a big part in it as well.
Yeah.
Like inflation is very high. Everybody's struggling. Like if you talk to young people, all these like that generation saving for houses, you know, they can't travel anymore. Like if it goes for us as well, to go to Ohio would cost us way more money than the time that we went first time, you know.
Yeah.
So you have to calculate all these things, and I think this is one of the reasons why it's like the money is not as big anymore. But still, 68,000, if you ask me.
Yeah, first place.
Yeah, it's pretty good money.
But it's 68,000 with Brian and Kerry's money. You know what I mean? Like, it's how much money was invested from themselves.
Yes, I understand that. But like maybe Brian shouldn't try to fix the show with his own money. You know
I know
what
you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like you shouldn't be doing that. Like you just tell people it is what it is. Like, that's how much money we earn. Yes, the prize money is down, but that doesn't mean anything. Like to me, it's still good for a strongman sport to have such a great competition that he's organizing. Probably the best, if not like the best competition, probably at the moment.
But that's what the sad thing is that if Brian, unfortunately, knock on wood, it doesn't happen. But if Brian decides to pull the plug, because obviously he said himself that he has a family himself, he has small kids, it's a lot of stress on him and Kerry. Like realistically, I'd say for 6 months of the year, this is to start planning. No, that's not
probably a year even. Like I think he said, like straight away after the show, they take a couple of weeks off and straight away they start organizing.
Yeah, but that could be the case. But I know that for a fact that was in 2023, the year we went, they were booking the tickets for actual athletes in June, and the show was in August.
Yeah,
and that's like a big expense to try to get the hotels organized, transport, all this. And we seen ourselves the year we went, like the shuttle buses that they brought us to the show, like everything was just perfect, top notch for the athletes. And I mean, like he said himself that he wants a show that every athlete wants to be at, that wants to be looked after at, wants to be treated as an athlete. You know what I mean? Like this should be a show for the athletes, rather than you go to some shows he said in the past and it just seemed like you just competed and that was it.
Yeah, I just hope it's not gonna be the same competition like, for example, Walt's Ultimate Strongman as well was.
Yeah.
You know, where like
number of years
like a couple of years now. Brian is going longer than they are. I think the main guy was Mark Boyle, right? Yeah. And there was a good bit of drama as well involved with them, where like certain athletes don't want to go there, and because of some sort of, I don't know, loyalty to other federations, organizations as such, you know. So and he didn't last too long. What, 3 years, I think?
Probably, I'd imagine something like that. Yeah,
something like that. And it just went under. And they started so big, so bombastic.
All the big names.
Yeah, all the big names, the best hotels, the best treatment, the best of everything, you know. Big prize money was 75, something like that. Something like that for the first place, 75,000. So, and it just lasted. And then you can see every year it just got a little bit worse and worse, and it just completely pull the plug. Yeah. So my advice to Brian would be like, I know it's hard to see that the show is not doing like as well as it was like when he was competing, because he was the main guy. Everybody came to see him because it was his last competition.
4-time world strongest man.
Like he has such a big name. And so he made a very good show then, and money was probably pretty decent. And now this year it's not as good. So, but that's okay. Business always goes up and down.
Yeah.
I just hope he will realize that and then not try to. I know he wants to give the best product, the best treatment to the athletes and stuff like that. But if the money flow, it's not there anymore, and you should be okay with it. Just take a hit, just downsize, or like there's nothing. It's not a big deal to me, Maybe hopefully the things will get better over years, and then the next year you'll do better.
Back up again.
Yeah. Just I think to expect for business to grow exponentially up and up every year, it's hard.
It is very hard, and like I'd say there's very little businesses that do exponentially grow that way, but it's very hard for Brian to obviously create this show. He wants it to be such a big thing, like he has, because
I think that's one of the problems.
That's one of the problems, because like the year we went in 2023, that was the first year for the arm wrestling. What was there, three matches? I think it was. I can't remember. Or something small anyway. But then
3 matches.
The year after, then you had like obviously the Expo got bigger, and now this year you have strongest arm on earth. You had the Expo. There was a powerlifting thing at the Expo. There was a arm lifting thing at the Expo. There was so many things, as well as the men's open, and the men's open was good prize as well. 3,000 for first, 2 for second, and 1,000 for third. Well, and that was actually across all weight classes.
But like again, like when you're an amateur, you expect to lose money when you travel and compete, because you want to get to that professional level. So everyone expect them to kind of like, at the start you have to invest into yourself from your own money. It's not 3,000. It's not great money, but it might cover your costs when it comes to traveling and food and stuff like that.
So back to the main point of the video, realistically, is that like Brian obviously put in the video his thoughts on the show, how everything went, and then like you were saying, Mitchell Hooper did his own video as well with the kind of his opinion on how the show went and what it seems like for the future. And like it is a show that we hope that doesn't go, because at the moment, from this year, it's the third highest paying show, I think, even with the bad year that they've had. So it's,
I think, fourth.
Rogue it would have been fourth.
Yes. Fourth
with that kind of money.
Yeah.
Now look, it's terrible to say that it went from second to fourth. But like again, like you were saying, you can't justify giving extra money if the show is not making it and putting yourself into a hole, because it just creates stress that you don't need.
Yeah, I think Brian should be okay with saying, right, this year wasn't a great year, but doesn't mean I have to lose a lot of my own money, just pay less athletes. Athletes will understand. I don't think they're going to be angry and dissatisfied and they're going to try to chew your ear off saying, well, give me more money,
Well, Mitch Hooper made like a point, I suppose, considering like how heavy the show was, the likelihood of injuries, all this, like you kind of want to get, the value for it, the money out of it. You want to get the prize money.
I get it, but the to me is like it shouldn't be the thing.
No,
like, you know what I mean. It shouldn't be the thing, because at the end of the day, the weights are heavy, but you're still gonna go and compete because you love the sport and you expect it as a strongman to do that. Loads of guys in my time were lifting heavy ass weights as well, like for
pennies,
like literally we're getting paid nothing basically. You win the second place in a major competition, you get 1,500 euros or 1,500 pounds, or something like that, and you're happy, and that's it. So now the guys who like 68,000, to me is still a lot of money. I know like probably Brian
wants to give more.
I know, but like it's okay to say, look guys, this year wasn't great. Hopefully next year we'll have more sponsors. Hopefully everything will improve. Economy, like I said, will be better. People will be able to travel a bit more, tweak a couple of things, and if the money is better, then we're gonna give you the strongman will make more money. So to me it's not a big deal. I think Brian should be like, I know, more like, I don't know which way to be, just look from the different perspective, like more of like realistic perspective, and just like, and especially he's being so transparent when it comes to his competition, like how much money was brought in, sponsors and everything else. Like how many shows do that? Nobody. So I think when he does these things, I think loads of fans and loads of strongmen are like, we understand it is what it is. We're just happy that you're organizing one of the best competition, if not the best competition of the year.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, and we support you either way.
Because like that, Brian is going out of his own way. He's taking all his own time. He's obviously taking time from his family to put on this show so it can be the best show. And like that, he should be getting some sort of money out of it. Like,
yes,
you should never
100%
for the weight he's putting on himself. He shouldn't be taking a loss. And like you're saying, to create this perfect show for athletes, like he should be the one that's benefiting the most out of
Yes,
it.
I think he should get paid first.
Yes,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, get paid first and then look after the
because
rest
he's
of
the one that's doing all this off his own back.
Yeah.
So,
So if you're losing money, that means that maybe you going too hard.
Yeah.
You're trying to be too big.
just shrink it back a little.
Yeah, just downsize a little bit. I think it's okay.
Yeah. Look, obviously we know there's a lot to unfold with this whole thing, with the money situation, the sponsorships, issues that we're having with arm wrestling. Like, there's so many things that went on the Shaw Classic this year. We see that Brian, I think he went on a bit of a fast and a diet to kind of clear his head after everything that went on. So look, let us know in the comment section down below. Do you think, like, what's your opinion on the Shaw Classic? Obviously we didn't do a roundup, other things went on. It's a couple of weeks ago, whatever it may be. But look, we obviously thought it was a great show. The results are great. Congratulations to Evan Singleton. We haven't said it already. Strongest man on earth for 2025. Look, we'd love to see all your opinions down below with anything to do with the Shaw Classic from 2025. If you made it this far in the video, make sure to press the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please press the bell icon. It'll keep you up to date with everything that's Lalas Brothers. And we'll see you in a future video.
See you later, guys.